The lake's reflection. Nestled deep in the heart of Oregon's forests was Mirror Lake, a place known for its crystal-clear waters and eerie silence. Locals warned visitors not to linger there after sunset. They whispered about the lake's reflection, how it didn't always mirror reality. Cassie, a 23-year-old photographer, was drawn to urban legends and beautiful landscapes. She had heard of Mirror Lake from an online forum and decided to visit, hoping to capture its haunting beauty. Armed with her camera, she set off early one autumn morning, determined to get the perfect shot. When she arrived, the lake was breathtaking. The water was so still it looked like glass, perfectly reflecting the towering pines and the gray, overcast sky. Cassie began snapping photos, marveling at how the reflection seemed sharper and more vibrant than the world above it. As the sun began to set, the forest grew unnaturally quiet. No birds chirped, no leaves rustled. The only sound was the soft click of her camera. She knelt by the water's edge to capture the golden hues of the sunset when she noticed something strange in the reflection. In the mirrored surface, there was a figure standing among the trees, a man in a tattered coat. But when she looked up, the shoreline was empty. Cassie's breath caught, but she convinced herself it was a trick of the light or her imagination. As night fell, the lake took on an ominous glow. The reflection seemed to move independently, the trees swaying in a wind she couldn't feel. Cassie decided it was time to leave, but as she turned, she saw something that made her blood run cold. Her reflection was still kneeling by the water, staring up at her with wide, unblinking eyes. Cassie stumbled back, her heart pounding. The reflection smirked, its movements slow and deliberate. It raised a hand and waved, though Cassie hadn't moved. Panicking, she grabbed her camera and started running toward her car. But no matter how far she ran, the path seemed to loop back to the lake. The reflection was always there, waiting, grinning. Desperate, she hurled a rock into the water, shattering the image. The ripples distorted the reflection, but when the water stilled, it was back. Only now the figure from earlier stood behind her mirrored self, its hollow eyes fixed on her. A voice echoed through the forest, low and guttural. "Stay with us," it said. "Join the reflection." Cassie screamed as hands, cold, wet, and impossibly strong, grabbed her ankles and dragged her toward the water. She fought, clawing at the ground, but the reflection pulled her under. The next morning, hikers found her camera on the shore, its memory card filled with photos of the lake. In the last image, Cassie's reflection was smiling, standing beside the figure in the tattered coat. To this day, visitors to Mirror Lake report seeing her face in the water, her eyes pleading for help. But if you look too long, you might find your own reflection smiling back, even when you're not.